Forest University School of Law in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Go Deeks! I've been a lawyer for 8 years. I graduated in May 2010. That felt like I need to say more. No, I didn't. I wanted to be an art therapist. Art therapist and work with kids, and I never even thought about being a lawyer until about junior year of college. Actually, I always wanted to be a child psychologist, and then I saw the movie Harriet the Spy, which is like one of my favorite childhood movies. And she goes to this therapist. I didn't know at the time it was an art therapist, but I figured it out, and that's what I wanted to be. Yeah, Harriet the Spy is a great movie, honestly. I mean, she goes around and spies on people. Since I wanted to be an art therapist, I majored in psychology and I minored in women's studies. No, I went directly to law school. I graduated May 2007 and I graduated law school 3 years later. I took it one time. You know, I said, I'm gonna do all the prep work, I'm gonna take courses, I'm gonna read every LSAT prep book, and I'm gonna give it one shot, and you know, whatever score I get, that's the score I'm gonna have, and that's what I'm gonna apply with, so I took it once. I did. I knew some people who took a test master's course, so I took that, and I also did some prep in like some Kaplan, LSAT books, and like the same books that you would use for like the SAT.
Law school.
So I knew I wanted to stay in North Carolina. With law school, crazy schedules, and studying all the time, I wanted to be able to just hop on the road and go see my family. I went to undergrad in Charlotte, and Charlotte was one of the cities I wanted to live in when I graduated law school, and Wake had a great placement. Great in Charlotte, and I went to a minority law weekend there and spoke to some of the students and alumni. Felt like home when I went, and I thought, okay, this is where I can spend the next 3 years of my life. So I applied to 3 schools, and I don't really recommend doing that. Say to apply to as many schools as you can. It's a burden to apply to a lot of schools, so apply to as many schools as you can. Really research where you want to go. Like, don't apply to a school if you don't want to go there. So I really didn't do anything to prepare. Like, I really just was like, let me enjoy my summer before I go to law school, because I heard so many horror stories. And they gave us a book to read, which was Gideon's Trumpet, and I read that, and that's really all I did. I go back though, and I tell a lot of people this, I would have read some like E&E, that's short for examples and explanations, and kind of read those for the basic first year law courses, just to kind of get a handle on what they're like, the case law, kind of the precedent, because I mean, I did not understand anything my first year, and it would have been great to have that foundation before going to class. I loved law school. I'm like, what? You love law school? But I loved law school. I didn't work during law school. I think it's actually a rule somewhere that you're not really allowed to work your first year. I mean, I had classmates who worked at like gyms at the front desk or like little side jobs during law school, but they really encourage you not to work, and I would encourage you not to work if you can if you're financially able not to work your first year. And then for my second and third years, I had like externships and like internships. Yep, an externship is sort of similar to like a work study. Like, you get the opportunity through your school, or you can get it on your own, and you use the experience to gain credit. So I had an externship with a administrative law judge in a city near Winston-Salem, and that was a great experience. I got really great experience and school credit. So and I negotiate contracts for pharmaceutical companies. To be honest, I'm a product of a terrible job market. The market crashed the end of my first year in law school, and there were no jobs. So I kind of just found the first job that would give me great experience, and it was negotiating contracts for the clinical research industry, and I fell in love with it, and 5 years later, I'm still doing it. I started my blog in 2011, and I hadn't heard anything about fashion law. I just wanted to write about fashion, and obviously I was working as a lawyer. And all of a sudden, like one day, maybe like a few years ago, I started reading about all these fashion law practices at law firms and fashion law education opportunities at different schools, and I'm like, fashion law, like this is perfect for me. It marries my two loves, like what I do and fashion, which I love obviously. And I thought I should write about this. Like, you know, I don't necessarily see a lot of fashion law opportunities in North Carolina, so why not make the opportunity and write about it? Advice I have for people, like I think I get a lot of questions from people who are creative and they are thinking about going to law school, and I think they're very worried that once they get their law degree, they're not going to be able to be creative anymore. And to that I say, you know, think about your passion. Like if you love art or you love fashion, I mean, I don't know, so many different creative outlets, and you want to be a lawyer, reach out to different people and see how you can pursue your passion and still be a lawyer. I mean, shit, you know, restaurants need lawyers, different, you know, fashion brands need lawyers, and designers need lawyers. So, I mean, everyone needs a lawyer. So if you are creative and you still want to be able to pursue that, think about how you can marry the two. And honestly, you can be like me. You don't have to wait for the opportunity to present itself. Like, create the opportunity. If you like something and you know, or a lawyer, or this is really for any field, I mean, you can write a blog about it. You can share your knowledge, and you can do that from anywhere. You don't have to, you know, move to New York and be a lawyer for, you know, Dior. You can write fashion law posts on a blog like I do. So. You're never too old. I went to law school with people who were in their 50s and their 60s, who had kids that were in law school, or lawyers themselves who had, you know, they had grandkids. I mean, it's never too old. If you decide you want to be a lawyer, if you decide you want to change your career and go to law school, like, I completely encourage you if that's what you really want to do. There's no age that's too old. In fact, I feel like you really can value the experience and you understand the workforce, and the more life experience, the more work experience you come into law school with, honestly, I feel like the better law student you can be, the better lawyer you can be, and I encourage anyone to go there. So I don't want to say no, right? Like, I don't want to tell people that they shouldn't pursue something that they want to do. But I do think when you're talking about taking on the amount of debt that you would be taking on for law school, you need to be sure. And I think that's with any job, with any, you know, any degree, any program. If you're not sure, you really need to just step back, because it's a big financial undertaking. It's a big time commitment, and you just need to be sure that that's what you want to do, especially with the legal job market the way it is. I mean, it's not what it was in 2008, but it's there. You know, it's hard to find jobs coming out of law school, so you really have to love what you do, and that's what's going to get you through those times where you can't find a job and you're just taking odd jobs, or, you know, jobs that maybe don't pay you as much. So you just need to be sure before you make that commitment. Cultivate relationships and network as soon as possible. Like, network with other lawyers in the city around where you go to school. Start scoping out and kind of picking those professors that you want to write you a recommendation. Preferably a professor you did well, whose class you did well in, who really knows you as a person, can really write a thoughtful recommendation for you when you apply to law school. And if you get started on that early, you won't have to worry about scrambling to get that piece of your application together. Also, doing well in school, prepping for your LSAT and doing as well as you can. Shadowing, like I didn't shadow any lawyers. Like I had an idea what lawyers did, but I didn't have any real world experience. So if you think, oh, I want to be an entertainment lawyer, find an entertainment lawyer in your city. All right, so that's it for my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can email me, leave a blog comment, send me an Instagram DM, make an Instagram comment, and we're going to be compiling all those questions and doing a part 2 to this video. So if you have a question, don't feel bad. I'm going to answer it in another video. So thanks for watching.